Bendigo, we welcome you to Lani Gastronomy, the home of gastronomy. Gastronomy to me means eating country to good health, and of course by doing that you are more well. So how do we love and care for homelands, farmlands, and we allow cooks and chefs to create amazing things, textures, colours, flavours, and then we enjoy together as a group. That's gastronomy. So eating country to good health.
It's sharing a meal with communities of people who maybe aren't from Victoria or aren't from Australia, but we can share in that story through food. We eat these foods that we've been eating for a really long time, and that's an important part of practice for us as Dja people, connecting with what our ancestors have done for a really long time and connecting with country. We are healthy in the way that country is healthy.
Our 6 seasons are about many times, and it's the observation that you make of now being intimate at country. So what is the weather like at that time? What are the colours that you see? What's growing? Needing food from country? When is it available? And importantly, when do we need to be abstinent, like not take from countries for fish? It's really important at certain times that, we don't impose upon the fish because, they're spawning, they're creating their young from the eggs and the fry. We see the colours at country with borwatch and the grasses, and so we know it's time to harvest, and we collect the seeds, we can store the seeds for later, we grind the seeds to make our breads.
Tell me about what this is here.
What is that? That's borwatch. This grass has been around through ice ages. It has the deepest root, goes down sometimes up to about 10 metres.
Yeah, wow.
So it's drinking, it's taking moisture from places that other tubers and roots and grasses aren't. It protects through its tussock then these other plants that are around it. And it has a beautiful floret, so the flower and the seed associated with it. And then that can be ground and turned into a bread. For the Dja we wanted to use an agricultural system. So we farm kangaroo grass. We're probably the most sophisticated group in Australia around farming an ancient grain, a native grass. So it doesn't need nutrients, it doesn't need herbicides, insecticides, all of these inputs we're seeing in agriculture. Our long-term vision and goal is to have more native plants in agricultural context. That's good for biodiversity, it's good for ecosystem function, it's good for soil health in agricultural context. We can eat from it, but country will be more well by us doing this. We've recently had investment in us to now grow a significant yabby farm that will be the biggest in the Southern Hemisphere. The yabby is really important to ecosystem function. So if we think types of food chains and cycles, the significant fish need yabby as part of their cycle of life. So if we can grow yabbies, make country healthier, allow people to eat yabbies, experience and explore this protein, this food as a yabby, the opportunity now is to borrow from and be useful in using ancient knowledge. And I think that will give us food security of the future. We grow what we need to, it'll be beautiful, healthy, tasty, we'll eat it. And so now that's what future generations will inherit.
So the native fruits and botanicals industry is really interesting right now. It's a booming industry. We know that it's actually going to double by the year 2025. For Dja people, to be part of that booming industry is really important because it's based off of our knowledge, it's based off our relationships to plants and animals. And so as a Dja person, I feel a lot of pride in seeing that there is this interest from other people to want to sit down at the table you're talking about and enjoy food together and yarn together and tell stories together.
Our agricultural business is Djakich, which is, and I describe it as dining room, and you put the pause in between dining and room. So now it's about eating at place. So Jarkich is doing our aquaculture, the yabby farming. It's also doing kangaroo, grass, buwatch, us exploring to grow tubers and roots. So murren, the yam daisy. It grows much like a daffodil, you know, the yellow flower, and it has beautiful fairy-like seeds, and they'll float. And the story with Mern, the grandmother, the mother and the daughter, and you dig it up, so there's 3 tubers, and so you always consume 2, and then you put 1 back into the ground. It'll grow and produce more. And then Nyari just landed behind us. Nyari the black duck, how cool is that?
Yeah, we as a community of people are doing some deadly things, so it's exciting for others to be part of that process with us and join in on that journey.
How about you come to Central Victoria and join with us in Gastronomy, have a fantastic conversation.